Hey guys, it's Megan. Whenever you do a webcam, you're always opposite of where you're feeling like the front. If you think your hair's going one way, it's really going the opposite. It's like a mirror image. Alright, so I would like to talk to you today about type 2 diabetes and the importance of testing your blood sugar. Well, really what I want to talk to you about is how to test your blood sugar. I have my meter here. It is so I can get a good picture. It's a Relion Prime, which I picked up at Walmart for $16 or $17. When I bought this, this is what came with it. I got the meter. I got this little case that has slots in there. It did not come with strips or lancets. Your pen would go here, and your meter goes here, and your strips go in this little thing. Okay. Before you start, you should take your little pen. Now, the little pen did not come with this kit. You can buy them separately or pull it from another kit that you might have. You need to take the new lancet and unscrew the top to it. Make sure you don't poke yourself with it. I'm going to set that down while I pull the old one out. I always make sure before I throw it in a Sharpie can or a bottle or something where it won't poke anybody that you put the little cap back on it like so. Alright, I'm going to load this into my little pen. Now, the inside of it looks like this. And this is, you just place it in there. And you take the little cap and you screw it back on, and I try to set it to the longest line on the wand, because that means it'll poke your skin easier. The smallest, you have to go deeper and you have to push harder. And I like to use my fingers. I tried to do like my forearm or another area, and it just didn't do as well. And you have a tendency to get an infection. Alright, they tell you ideally that you should use alcohol prep wipes to start with to clean the area that you're going to be poking. Now, I have some larger ones that are similar but not exact. I'm going to take my middle finger, because all my other ones seem to get sore, and I'm going to clean it. I'm going to clean the area, like so. Then I'm going to take a dry paper towel, and I'm going to dry the area. That way it is clean. And I'm going to take my Relion Prime strips. Now, you buy them, they come in packages of 50 or 100, and when you get 100 you get 2 of these, and even the 100 is under $20 to buy a package of those. Alright, now I don't know if you can see the strip, but the bigger part goes in the machine. The smaller part, let's see if I can figure out how to, I'm weird with the camera. I'm trying to, this part right here is where your blood will go. Alright, you stick this part. Now, some of these, when you buy them, this part has a hole poked out of it. That's okay, it will still work. And the Relion Prime meters, they come in blue and red. Alright, you need to feed it into the machine, and you need it to have this blinking thing, because that way you know that you can put your drop of blood on there. Now, there is no coating for this machine. These come straight out of the box. You don't have a solution. There's no coating. Now, I'm going to take, after I've wiped my area, I'm going to take and I'm going to press. Now, you get a droplet of blood, and you're going to lightly touch it, and you'll get this signal on here. Alright, my blood sugar says 160. It's a little high. I had some pasta earlier. Even though I had chicken, I'm sure the sauce had a bit of sugar in it, and I have to take a pill before I go to bed. I took one earlier. Now, I usually change the stick. I'm the only one that uses it. I usually change it when I use it, or they say to do it every time you do. Sometimes I don't, except for I might do it every couple of times or whatever. And sorry, I'm putting everything back in this little thing. You want to put pressure on the part where you've punctured it, and that's pretty easy to do. Now, if you're unable to do that, or you're not sure how to do it, you can find somebody to do it for you and show them how to do it, or have them teach you. Or watch my video a couple times. It's hard because the camera on the webcam on here isn't centered into the computer, just as the mouse pad isn't centered either. It's like where when you rest your hands down on a keyboard, you think you would have it in the middle, but it's slightly over to your left side. So it's a little odd, but actually, it's just the mouse thing. The light for the webcam is over to the left. So I'm confused. I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't get it out right. So, alright, that's how you test your blood sugar with a relion prime meter. And if you are required to test your sugars, multiple times a day, good rule of thumb is if you're going to test it after a meal. Now, I've been told two different ways. I've been told test it half an hour after you eat a meal, or test it 2 hours after. Now, my doctor that I was seeing, which I've got to find a new one, told me to get up in the morning, or whenever you get up, because if you work shift work, your mornings might be evenings. Get up and test your blood sugar. Take your medication you're supposed to. Like, I'm supposed to take 1,000 milligrams of metformin twice a day. Take your medication, eat something with it, then wait 2 hours, and wait 2 hours and test it. Now, if you have spells where your sugar goes low, I think I told you in a previous video how to raise it. It's 15 grams of carbs, and then you wait 15 minutes and you check it again. 15 grams of carbs, and you wait until it's at a level that your doctor's happy with. Some people might go for 90, some might go for about 100, 110. And if you are on Lantus or hemoglobin or Humalog, or whatever insulin that you take, if you use the needles, or if you use the needles and the pills. I'm not an expert. I don't understand the math for the needles, so a rule of thumb when you check your blood sugar, I'm just going by, I have type 2 and I'm not on insulin shots. I'm just on the pills currently. So if yours is more complicated than that, then I advise you to consult your doctor, your diabetes doctor, and learn what to do. I am type 2. My best friend is type 1. So she has to deal with, what's it called? When she's gotten sick before, it goes into, I don't want to say it's DKA, but, it's where you get proteins in your urine, and your body's, I think that's what it is, and you can get very sick very fast. And I know she's been in the ICU a couple times with it, where your body you can't hold anything down, your sugars can't stay up. They're just constantly, either they're really, really high, or I think it's ketoacidosis, that might be what it's called, or they're really, really low and they don't stay. They just fluctuate. So, that's what you can get if you're really dehydrated and you're really sick, and luckily I haven't had to deal with that part of it. But I have dealt with blood pressure issues. When I got diagnosed, first I think I went on blood pressure medicine, then I started the diabetes medicine. I believe my ex-husband, when he was diagnosed, they started both medications at the same time for him. So, I think I have a better handle on mine than he does right now. I know he's going to struggle with his for the rest of his life, but I knew the type of person that he was, and very laid back and didn't check it that often. He may now. I don't know what his situation is, but kind of had the attitude where, you know, hey, if I don't see it, then it's not real, or hey, I don't have to worry about it, I'm good, and something's really wrong. So just keep that in mind. And I know there was a time where he had to have surgery, and afterwards he was taking metformin and glipizide, I believe. And when he had surgery, when he came out of his surgery, they had him on, I know he was on the shots that I used to have to give him to him, and he didn't stay on those forever, but he's been on them, and those things can be expensive. I know if you're diabetic and you are anywhere near like a Walmart or a Target and you don't have insurance, they have these programs where you can get generics of some drugs for, you know, they have a $4 plan. If it's a little bit more than that, they'll have an $8 one. And, you know, I am on metformin, which is a $4 plan. I was used to paying $8 for a prescription, because I think if you go a higher amount and the count is higher, you have to pay the next tier up, and I think that's $8. With my insurance now, so far I haven't had to pay anything out of pocket yet this year for my excuse me, for my metformin or my blood pressure medication, which is lisinopril, which I got put on the $4, which I found out was on the $4 plan. I don't recommend, how do I put this the right way? One of the side effects to lisinopril that I take, and I think it's also Preventil, if that's the same name, I don't know if it's the same, is a little bit of a cough. And I know that my father was diagnosed a year or two back, and I know they put him on lisinopril, and I know he was having the dry cough, and they had to switch him to something else. So that is a side effect. I didn't know that for many years, that it was a side effect, so that could be part of the contributing factors of my diabetes and my breathing issues, although I do have asthma, but it's very possible that that could be part of the issues. So when it comes to high blood pressure, I do have a meter, and I'm having issues with it. I think that the meter itself's having trouble holding the charge with a battery. Even though I've changed them out, it just doesn't want to keep pumping anymore. So I do know Relion does have some that are fairly, I want to say, inexpensive. I think I found one for under $50 through Walmart. Now, it's the machine where you put it on your arm and you let the machine go. I don't know how to manually do it, because they have one of those, but it's like, it was like less than 20 with a stethoscope and the, I don't know, the blood pressure cuff and the stethoscope. I don't know how to do that. So, if your doctor has you on both types of medication, which is very common that I've learned with diabetes and high blood pressure, it's important to take it as prescribed. I have ran into issues where I haven't been able to take it. The blood pressure pills, after a while I get a really bad headache. It means my blood pressure's up, and I get that feeling of just like your whole face is hot. Sometimes I had it really bad one time where hadn't, had the money to buy my medication for a couple weeks, and I wasn't taking it. Now, this could have been a couple weeks, it could have been up to a month, and my ex-husband was going to go fill a prescription for me and pick it up. While he was gone, I either went to go stand up, or I was sitting on the couch or something, and I needed to go to the restroom, and I couldn't see anything. It was temporary, and once I got my blood pressure back up, I was, it wasn't, well, I mean, I can't really say I couldn't see anything. The way to describe it was everything went blurry and, very, bright. There was, like, I don't have a lot of lights on in my house, and it just felt very blurry and very bright. I wound up having to go to the hospital, and they gave me, I still took my medication when he came home with it, and they took me and put me on monitors and stuff. They didn't keep me overnight because we were able to get it to come back down, and it was able to be steady for a while. Then they let me go home. So I have had issues with very high blood pressure. Now, I had a issue with a procedure I had to have done a while back, and due to the large amount of blood that I lost, I asked to stay overnight just to make sure that everything was okay, and by the next day I had to have emergency surgery because my blood pressure went too low. So it's important to take your medication, and it's important to monitor your situations, but it's important for you to know your body, know your health, know when something's wrong, know the symptoms, and to do something about it. Now, there are free clinics and communities. I don't know numbers or anything for any of them. I know you can call United Way, or Salvation Army might have some numbers if you don't have insurance or can't afford insurance, can't afford to go anywhere to get it. You know, I did not get the Obamacare. I'm not knocking the people who did, but I am fortunate now to have insurance. So I understand it's not cheap, it's not fun, but it's something you got to do, and when you have health issues, you need to have it. It's a good idea. If you can't, then find a free clinic, a clinic that can do like a sliding scale fee. Just take care of yourself, and if you have any questions, there's the National, what's it called for diabetes? It's Diabetes Association, I think it is. You can look online, you can Google it, or you can call your doctor and ask, or you can ask a healthcare professional. You can also consult your pharmacist, your people who are knowledgeable of it. There's some community outreach programs that you might have somebody, I don't know what community that you live in to know where to send you, but keep an eye on it. I've had relatives who've had it and who've passed on. My dad found out after one of my uncles had to have heart surgery. He just was feeling off, and we all suspected that he was, and he called me up one day and told me he went to his doctor, and I almost cried when I got off the phone because I was so glad that he did something about it, because I'd had a dream that my father had passed away. So it hit me hard, because you don't want to think about your parents passing away, even though inevitably it'll happen to all of us. Are going to die one day. I mean, we don't want to think of it that way, but I mean, we have our own mortality to look at. You want to do the best with what you have, and sometimes it's hard. Like, before I checked my blood sugar tonight, I was thinking that I wanted some ice cream. But being that it's 160, I can't have that. So maybe I'll, have a piece of fruit, or maybe I'll just drink some water. And sometimes, if I get really hungry, I want something sweet, I can have a cup of coffee with my stevia, and that might curb it. So we will see what happens. I'm just know not to get my sugars up high. I just need to not have that snack tonight. So I am going to start a section of probably a small collection of videos. I'm just going to call it Megan's 10 Things, or 10 Things About Megan, I think. I think that's what I'm going to call it. It's, working in my head now. And I'll tell you 10 random facts, or 10 things that I really like, or, maybe 10 articles that I read, or 10 movies that I like. Something. Maybe I'll tell you about 10 different types of foods that I like, or 10 of my favorite recipes, or something. I mean, that if I say that, that's a broad subject. So I'm going to make a small list and hopefully do one tonight or today and work on some to do at a later time, because I think that might be fun to do. So I will let you guys go for now. Like my video, please. Favorite it. I don't know exactly what that means, but subscribe, share my videos. If you have any friends out there that have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, asthma, any big health concerns, have them watch my video. If you don't know how to use a relion prime meter, let me tell you, I have tried several different types of meters since I was diagnosed, and I was diagnosed over 5 years ago. I found the relion prime seems to be the easiest, because you don't have to code it. All you have to do is prick your finger. After you slide the little strip in, you put your thing on there, it calculates it, and that's how you figure it out. So I will go for now, and I will be back later. Thank you. Bye.